I stuck to the basics of the nutrition which will make you healthy. Weight loss is byproduct.
Was there ever a point you were like, this is not working, this is too difficult?
A lot of fad diets have come. Everybody just gets onto it and goes like, oh my god, I'm getting such good results and XYZ. And you're just questioning, okay, am I doing the right thing?
I was sure that I had to do record keeping. Now the clients can see their data of last 25 years. Wow. Their blood reports they may not have, but it is there with us.
This is something that the entire Indian healthcare industry needs.
Whether you are 10-year-old or 20-year-old or 30, 40, you have to first invest in your health.
What is a good financial habit to have?
Make sure you're saving. So you need to save between 50 to 60%.
This is the one tip that can change your life. Exercise should not be by the way, it should be the way. The moment you change your attitude towards physical activity, it changes everything in your body and your mindset.
Yeah.
Sleep is one domino. If it falls, that everything falls.
Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of Happy Hour with FinCocktail. Today we have a powerhouse in the wellness space, Suman Agarwal, who's built Selfcare by Suman 25 years ago from the ground up. And accompanying her is her daughter, Dr. Juhi Agarwal, who studied medicine before joining her in the business. Chances are, if you've Googled gut health tips, finding a nutrition plan, or tried to balance lifestyle with your health, you have come across Selfcare by Suman. Today, we'll be diving into how she's built the business, what they do for their clients today, and of course, where finance and health cross paths. Let's dive right in. Thank you so much for joining us, you guys. I'm so excited for this chat.
Yeah, me too. Been looking forward to it.
So now, okay, so Suman Agarwal, the name itself is literally synonymous with health, nutrition, and all things wellness. So please tell us, how did you come up with the idea? When did it begin? How did you get started?
It started because I just wanted to have a formula which does not allow you to have fever.
Really?
Yeah.
But why fever?
So fever was the least of the problem for the health, right? So I was falling sick every 3 months.
Oh.
And my childhood was spent whole childhood was only about talks about health. My father was a health freak.
Oh, really?
So he used to wake us up from very young age at 5 o'clock, 5:30, whether it's holiday, whether it's school day. Because he said, "Haan, chalo, abhi chutti hai. Let's come on. Let's do yoga." He used to learn yoga and he used to make us do yoga on holidays at 5:30.
Oh my God.
And then after that, we had to take Mahan Shakti Data Horlicks. And he tried his best to make us healthy, but we were all falling sick all the time. So I thought there has to be a formula. My father's formulas are not working. So that was a quest actually. And maybe since he started, he was the seed. And I used to only think about health and how to cure diseases. So I remember there was a book in Hindi, such a fat one, and it talked about all the diseases in the world. And it was, of course, in Hindi. I'm from a Hindi medium, guys. Okay. Till 16th standard, I did not know how to speak one sentence in English.
Nobody can ever, no one would tell right now.
So, of course, to be able to speak in English and at the same time, so when I was 12, I read that whole book in Hindi about diseases and I was quite intrigued. And I told my dad I want to study science because I want to cure this problem of mine of falling sick. Okay, cold and cough. So, but he said, you are Marwadi and I don't think so. You can study up till 26 years of age because you will get married at 19, 20. So that's not happening. I said, okay. So he said, you can finish your graduation, that much I can promise you. I said, okay, itna bhi bahut hai. So I finished my graduation and so I read that book and that was the quest in me. I used to remember that I used to just sit and think, has to be a diet formula because he used to only talk about food, right?
Yeah.
How to remain healthy. That's how I just came across this course about nutrition, which was Oxford affiliated, and it was near my house.
This is after you were married, had 3 kids.
After I was married and 3 kids, because for first 10 years I didn't have time to think about
Yeah.
any studies. So after all the 3 kids were born, and I wanted to study, and I found this course, and somehow when I was doing the course only, I was, my God, this is the real truth. This is what happens to the food. This is protein. This is carbs. This is what fruits are. I mean, it was like a big revelation to me, which I've been actually wanting to know from a very young age. So that's how I finished my studies. But before that, I thought even the exercise is a way to become healthier, better, stronger, thinner. So exercise was my way to come into this field. So I did the course of training, Reebok training class, and but what happened is, when my husband went for the, like a sort of a opening ceremony, and he said, "You are Marwadi, you were not going to do all this very short." I said, okay, that is gone down the drain. But then I learnt about this, studied for a year, worked in a hospital, and started. That's how it came about, it just to remain healthy.
Wow, that's amazing. And Juhi, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your journey been like?
So I think from a very young age, listening to mom talk about nutrition, I think it just like trickles down through generations.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah,
I'm like my dad.
Did she also wake you up at 5 a.m.?
No. This,
thank
but we were not allowed to wake up beyond 8 a.m.
Fair.
Okay, so
Even on
you know,
Sunday.
even on Sundays.
Even on Sundays?
It was just a thing because there's so much noise in the house because everyone is awake at 8 a.m. Anyway, so
I feel I'm like,
no, you're not.
yeah. I mean, you wanted to wake up also. You say that you wanted to have the breakfast,
I don't
Sunday
think
breakfast.
she really had an option.
At that time, yeah, when we were kids, yeah, mama. Then we started enjoying it. I'm not saying we didn't enjoy it. So because she used to talk about nutrition, it just became something that was ingrained into us. Like, you need to eat your protein. So when we used to go out, we used to look at the menu, and the first thing we would choose is something protein rich, and then you eat whatever else. So it just became a part of our lives. Now also seeing her being able to help so many people, and like when we used to go out, whether it's at a mall or for a movie, and hearing so many people how grateful they were for mom's advice on their health and how it made such a big change, I think it inspired me. And I've always wanted to do something in science. So I decided, I was very confused when I was in my 10th, 11th, 12th as to what I wanted to study, but I knew I wanted to do science. I studied medicine, okay, because I said it's something, at least I'll learn something in science and then figure my path, because I didn't know if I wanted to do nutrition going forward. And that's when I had this revelation that, okay, putting together nutrition with medicine is exactly what I should be doing, because that's preventive medicine.
Yeah.
And that would be adding a lot of value to what mom is already doing. And also I have the best mentor in terms of nutrition. So why not?
But
Okay.
also that this whole thing about medicine and nutrition is not only what I need, it's the whole world needs this.
Yeah.
I mean, you exactly did what she started out to, right?
Yeah.
Ki how do you prevent
and
falling sick all the time?
Yeah, and she also, while I was, and it's not like she pushed me into medicine ever or pushed me towards nutrition. We were always free to choose whatever we wanted to do. But while I was studying medicine, it was so nice to hear mom saying that, Juhi, I've always wanted to become a doctor and study more science. So like,
so nice.
I'm sort of living through you. But
So
it was
That's
really
so
nice.
nice. That's really nice.
So that's how it started, and that's when I joined mom, and I don't think I could be happier.
Yeah, I think it's more than 7 years now she's with Selfcare.
Wow, that's amazing.
Nice.
And meeting family every day is just so beautiful. After you get married also, meeting mom on a daily basis for work.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
best, because
that
I
is
see
the
my
best.
dad every day at work,
Yeah.
so I feel like
Really?
Yeah.
because our office is essentially in his office.
Okay.
He's been kind enough to give FinCocktail like one section of the office, so I see him every day. So
and
I
eat
feel
lunch together.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so nice.
It is.
Yeah.
It is really nice. For us also, it's so nice to just kind of unwind from our lives and get back to each other a little bit, and you have a vent and like a sounding
Comfort.
board. Yeah. Okay, so how long has it been for self-care?
I started in 2000 in April.
Okay.
So 24 years.
25 years now.
We
2000.
touched 25.
Oh my God, we didn't celebrate.
Yeah.
Yay, congratulations. So 25 years. Okay, so we ask this question more often than not, but was there ever a point you were like, this is not working, this is too difficult, and this is stressing me out so much? Like, you know, a lot of people talk about the successes, but the depths of the struggle, that is what really kind of makes the journey worth it sometimes. Was there ever a moment like that?
Yeah, there used to be moments like that initial first 1 or 2 years, because primarily there were not a single person from my family dur tak. Nobody was a doctor or anything connected to medicine, nutrition or medicine.
Right.
So it was very hard for me to sort of how do I promote myself?
Yeah.
So, and I used to feel, no, this is not happening. What am I doing? There's no money coming in. Like, I mean, of course you work and you want to do good, but also the money has to come in. Then that motivates you. So, but then I remember 2-3 people, and one of my brother-in-law used to say, "What are you doing? I don't know what advice you want to give, but just by looking at you, people would want to come and." I said, "Okay, that's a very sound advice." Yeah, but there were struggles, and with 3 kids, it wasn't easy.
I'm sure.
I made sure that I did not work beyond certain hours. My thing was, if my youngest one, Komal, was going to school for 2 hours, I used to work for 2 hours. And if she was going for 6 hours, work for 6 hours. I always wanted to be home when they were home. So that initial days were limited, but we managed, and somehow God has been very kind, and without anything, and people started liking the kind of work I was doing, and it was just by word of mouth and never advertised, and God has been really, really kind, and how the best of the people have been coming and taking advice.
Can I add something?
Yes, of course.
You have also been very foresighted. So that's why you have avoided a lot of problems. Okay, that people face in this industry.
Yeah.
I feel like you've been very foresighted because you have built a team that can manage work with you. You've built a software that can
Yeah. So, but initial years when I started,
Yeah,
it was
it was
really
tough.
tough. And
Yeah.
4-5 years was not easy.
Yeah.
But then it became a smooth journey. And as the people started pouring in from 250, so first I started working in maybe like just how you're working out of your parents' office.
Yeah.
I was working out of my husband's office. The place was maybe 60-70 square foot cabin. And with just a bench as a waiting area. From there, I took a 250 square foot office, then 450, then 1,000, then now we have 4 clinics.
Wow.
So it was initial years were tough, and only thing helped me was my passion.
Nice.
I remember after working for 1 year, since I'm Marwadi, so my mother-in-law did say that what is the use? I mean, just earn like that, because the cash was the main thing those days. I said no. I want to make my company. No matter I have earned or not earned, I want my company to be registered. So my mother-in-law's cousin brother, I went to him. He was into taxes and income tax and everything. I said, Mama ji, you have to
Register help
my
me
company
register.
and also pay the taxes. I want it to be done officially. I don't want to earn anything in cash. I did not believe in cash in 2001.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I said, no, I want my company to be registered, recognized, and by the government. So the first year I took that step.
Now that is foresight.
That is foresight, for sure.
You're right.
For sure.
Yeah, I did that. And he said, okay, I will do it, but do you have all the bills? I said, I have each and every bill. Even of 40 rupees ka bill also I have.
Wow.
So I have all my expenses on Excel sheet, my husband taught me, and all my income on Excel sheet. So you please pay taxes and add it to my income.
Amazing. So everyone always talks about successes, and like we know, you've gone through your fair share of, good, great moments in your career. Can you both, in fact, tell us a little bit about a failure or a tough moment which made you question everything and made you think that, maybe this is not meant for me?
Since I never followed fads,
I was just going to say the same.
Yeah, I never followed fads. I remember there was one time there was a nutritionist who used to give water diets, pani puri ka pani, and some
diets.
treatments.
Okay.
Yeah, and the whole Bollywood was going, and so all my relatives and my brother-in-laws and people who really look out for me, they said, "What are you doing? What is this peanut business you're doing? Look at that person. She just came and earning so much." I said, "She might be earning whatever she was earning, okay, but I can't." My job is not to make people sick. I've only entered this industry to make
avoid
myself
that.
better.
Yeah.
So from falling sick every 3 months, after understanding nutrition, curing myself, I was falling sick once in 3 years. That much
great.
gap. Like no
Yeah.
cold and cough too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, literally. Where everyone falls sick with cold and cough. I said, I've literally entered this industry for that matter. And you're telling me to give water diet, pani puri diet, I mean pani puri ka pani
Pani
diet,
diet.
just one fruit in a day. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I know what will happen to them. They will lose
Correct.
hair, they will have eyesight issues, they will have bad gut issues, then they will have hair fall and muscle loss and bone loss. How do I sleep in the night?
Yeah.
So I stuck to the basics of the nutrition which will make you healthy. Weight loss is byproduct. I never wavered from there. Because of that, I never had that thing that okay, I'm failing in this. Because I always believed in the good of my client rather than earning money.
Right.
Do you have a little anecdote?
I think my explanation will also be something similar to Mum's, because a lot of fad diets have come around in waves.
Yeah.
And that's when everybody just gets onto it and goes like, oh my God, I'm getting such good results and XYZ. And you're just questioning, okay, am I doing the right thing? Like, everybody's talking about this. Am I doing the right thing? And that's when I would have a chat with Mom. Like, we would discuss it.
Yeah.
And I would do some research, try to understand why, what is there in research that's really helping this. And we used to keep coming back to the same, that okay, ours is the best. Okay, like we shouldn't waver. And few years or few months down the line, there used to be research that used to come in that okay, a keto has all of these issues,
Yeah.
and intermittent fasting has all of these issues.
Yeah, actually, when the keto and intermittent become really, they had taken
Over.
strong fold,
Yeah.
and we did see a drop in our clientele
Yeah.
because people were more interested in losing weight
Quickly, no? They want everything
yes,
fatafat.
quickly. Then that is the time we did see a drop, and we questioned. Shall
Ah,
we divert into
strategies.
something
Yeah.
else? Yeah, we tried to do many strategies. And there was another nutritionist who had become extremely famous
Popular.
at that time, who was giving like aloe vera juice and many more concoction that time. And people were literally doing herd following, or what is it called? I said, no. What we are doing is best for us, best for the client, and best for the industry, and I'm not going to change. It's okay if we are not there where we are
Yeah,
supposed
but it's a
to
tough
be.
call to take at that point in time, you know.
Yeah.
And
So
we
did
would
not
do,
waver.
and we would do our own research. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
I would follow the intermittent myself. I did it, Juhi.
Yeah.
And I did lose weight. But then as soon as I went out of town, because intermittent cannot work when you are literally like on a holiday for
Yeah.
20 days. I did not even gain whatever weight I lost, but much more. So that's how I decided ki this, of course, this theory is not working, and we didn't want to follow because I knew the side effects of intermittent fasting, IFM. So that was one time we really thought we should change and look into something else.
Yeah.
But bang, COVID came.
I was just going to talk about this.
Then people realized the importance of health, immunity, muscle, bone, rather than weight loss. That is the time people started believing in our system. And then there were, of course, 2-3 angels who came into our lives, who have spread the knowledge which I have spoken about 1,000 times in every platform. But when I spoke on that platform, it like really made a difference.
That's crazy. So yes, of course, failures, challenges are something that they definitely teach us. But on the flip side, what is something that was, what this goes in the Hall of Fame? This is one of our best moments.
Yeah, the best moment I would say when the podcast of Ranveer Alabadia came.
Yeah.
We were on a holiday and our phones just didn't stop ringing.
Wow.
That was
There
one
was-
moment which I thought ki,
So there was one day, like, that none of the nutritionists work on a Sunday, right? None of our team members work on a
Yeah.
Sunday. That was the first time they have all gathered together on a Sunday to plan how to manage the inflow of
what is
what
about
has
to
been-
come.
What had started coming in.
Wow.
And it was purely by like no financial arrangement. It was all goodwill, and so that is the time I thought there is God who sees hard work, who sees dedication, who sees the passion, who sees the intent what we have, and that is the time I thought that
And it was all like candid, nothing was scripted, it was a chat. So it was, and that's people believed in what mom was saying, and that was the beauty. You know, and she was not promoting something that's a fad at all. So
I did say what I've been saying since 25
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Like कब से बोल रही हूँ यही बोल रही हूँ.
So coming to that, you've been seeing this for the past 25 years, okay? And you've seen so many of these fads come and go. To a point where sometimes I question everything that I'm eating or drinking because
carbs are bad, fat is
मतलब
bad, this
तुम
is bad.
आदमी खाना ही बंद कर दे अभी क्या? So you know, you've seen all of that.
Yeah.
Through that, how do you still manage to stay relevant?
Because I have seen it on myself. I've cured, so as you know that I was falling sick, but besides that there were other issues with my health, because I was following fat diets before I did the course of nutrition, because I was so much interested in nutrition and health. So I used to I still have newspaper clippings of nutritionists writing on the newspaper. I have so many books on nutrition. That time internet was not a big deal. We
Recipe books.
no,
Even
like
generally.
Fit for Life, where you eat only fruits till 12 o'clock and those kind of things. I did follow that for 3 years, which made my health more bad. Yeah. And of course, bad hair, bad health, bad immunity, bad skin, everything happened to me. So much so that at the age of not even 30, I had a severe back pain, so bad that I had to, whenever I was sitting in the car, I had to literally lift my left leg and put it in the car.
Oh, wow.
That much the kind of sciatica pain I had. When I went to an orthopedic doctor, he said that your L4 and L5 and this is the problem, and you should never do running and you should never dance. I said, but what are you saying? I'm like, I'm
Not
so
even 30,
young
yeah.
and dancing is my passion. And so he said, yeah, but your back is so bad. So after that, I understood what I'm doing is not correct. I need to do something solid. That's how I did the course in nutrition. And I corrected my nutrition, my nutrition plan, my neutraceuticals and everything, and cured my back pain. And after that, I've been like, I can dance non-stop for 3 hours. In heels and till now. And I could also jog. So I thought that when I can make such a difference to myself with the kind of diet I did, and every fat diet was actually tried by me, or we used to get thousands of clients, right? They have tried a fat diet and they have come to me and they had these issues, because we are not interested in just giving a diet chart to the client. We have a conversation that, okay, what are your health issues, how we can help, what are
What are your
there in your
goals?
genetic history, what are your goals, let's stick what we can help you with.
Correct.
And we could literally help them with everything. So that's how we stayed relevant, because our diets did make a huge difference in everyone's health along with weight loss. So people those days used to come with single-mindedness like this, like horse
Weight loss.
running. Weight loss. I said, but I am like looking at 360 degrees. I want to not only give you weight loss, I want to give you better skin, better hair, better immunity, better gut, and better muscle, better bone, everything. And so how do we do that? So that's how I used to rope in everything and consult. So it wasn't a client whom we just had to give quick fixes. We were seriously interested in their health.
And also I would say that you have worked towards building a recipe bank. You have three recipe books, one in the pipeline, fourth one coming up for diabetes. We're doing constant research on nutraceuticals, finding out the best quality, going over research and understanding which ones work the best. Which is ongoing. On a weekly basis, we have these meetings.
A weekly basis we have a
We have a call with our team, our nutritionists. We discuss relevant topics. So everyone's educated, because we're not like a one person
company,
right? It's like a team that's working together.
Yeah, we have 2 doctors, Dr. Juhi, Dr. Anand, who's Dr. Juhi's husband, and we have 15 nutritionists
nutritionists.
who are working with us. We have 4 clinics. We have clients in more than 55 countries who consult us through online. So from that time, we've been consulting people from not only from Bombay or Kolkata, where we have clinics, but from all over the world.
Amazing.
That's amazing. So from this, from your solo clients to diving into the online world, how did you go about building this business model and revenue stream? Because it takes a lot. Because yes, one side is your research or education on nutrition, where you're educating yourself to do better by the clients. But then you also have to build that side of the business where you're kind of, creating your team. Now, yes, you have 4 clinics and ex-nutritionists and 2 doctors. But back then, how did you build that? What was behind your head when you built this revenue stream?
Yeah. First of all, I was very particular about information of clients which never got lost. So, though we were just nutritionists, we built a software and we had every client with a file number. So we had all the records. We had everything
Dated back from 2000.
Yeah, 2000. We have everything.
Yeah,
Like
everything.
clients are shocked when I take out their papers and show it to them.
Like if they come back to us 20 years later, they're like, what? Do you have this data? This is what I was. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we built our software in 2009, our own software to manage whole client data.
And this is internal software that
And my
you
own,
guys use.
yeah, it's our own.
Wow.
Yeah.
Primarily mom.
Yeah. So we had a software team who built it, and so we were working on that. Appointments used to happen in 2009 on that. So
I will tell you this. This software has data of each and every client, including their genetic history, their blood reports, their anthropometric data, what diet they're following, what is their new diet, what is their weekly diet, and also an analysis of how the diet has helped them reach whatever
the
goal
years.
they wanted to reach. And because of that, we can consult.
but this, I had a
Online.
mentor for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's no more, and I'm very sad about it. Dr. R.P. Sonawala. So I was his patient. All my 3 kids were born, and I saw that they had all records, and the way they used to handle their clinic, my whole clinic is based on that. So I was sure that I had to do record keeping, but to build a software and all was, of course, the demand of the time, and
Yeah.
so we
Need
did
of the
that.
hour.
Then Priyanka joined me. That's how the team became bigger. So Priyanka, so I wrote my first book, Don't Diet Cookbook, with Tinu Sanghvi. She's a very good friend. And then I wrote my second book, Unjunked, for weight loss and healthy living. That was my solo book, which had recipes and,
Like a
tips
formula.
about how to lose weight. And there is still a 7-day weekly menu
Sample
to
menu.
follow to lose weight. So a lot of people followed that, and touch wood, it was like now it must be 8th or 9th reprint.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Priyanka has curated that book. After that, she joined Selfcare because we saw that clients or all the food products available in the industry, in the so-called healthy food,
So-called.
yes, was without any labeling.
Yeah.
They used to call it roasted or non-fried or whatever, but
Yeah.
there
Kaun
was
check
no
kar raha hai?
koi check
It's
nahi
like
kar-
15 years ago. No.
Yeah. So I started my own products range in 2005 or 6
Oh.
20.
with following the international rule of protein, fat, carbs, fiber, calcium, everything mentioned.
Correct.
I used to have it because I wanted my clients to know what they were eating was proper or not. So we used to do the lab analysis and everything, and I used to put. So that is the time I started. It was very small, only snacks. Then Priyanka joined in. She, of course, increased the range to another level. We have now own nutraceutical range. We have our own snacks range, which is more than 70, 80. I don't know.
Products?
Yeah, I don't know how many.
think
She
so.
manages that. So Priyanka joined, and of course the software were made. Then from that we wrote third book, which was book on kids, which I thought that the
Kids nutrition and kids
yeah, it's
recipes.
very
That
very
is
important
I
to
feel
bring
like
up.
I need to buy that book.
She's like, please give.
Because every
So-
time you're talking about, falling sick and getting a fever,
Yeah.
my child is constantly falling sick.
Yeah.
And I feel so terrible about it. Every other month, cold and cough. I'm like, kidhar se? Like how? And I don't know, for some reason my husband and me don't get a cold and cough
Cough
very
that
frequently. So I'm like, I don't know, it's not even in your genes. Like, why are you falling sick all the time?
Yeah.
I feel like I need this book.
So I wrote that book understanding that young India has to be very healthy and strong and super brains. That's why I called it Super Kids. And so that was the next thing which happened. And so also there is we had this two wonderful twin sisters joining us, which I thought really made our team very strong, Vaishali and Vishakha in 2000. So it was a God gift on my birthday. They joined my clinic on my birthday and they still remember in 2012. So they came into our lives when Priyanka came and then they came. And that's how our team grew. And of course, we have another angel who stayed with us for another 13 years, 14 years, Mona. So we have these three very strong nutritionists who have learned all the tricks and the way to consult and all the small important like, you know, the twist we have to give to the diet, they all have learned and they have become like, we have given verticals to them, especially Vaishali, our pregnancy and lactation vertical is really strong, where we have who's and who's coming and taking the nutrition guidance during pregnancy and lactation. And Mona, of course, is become expert in diabetic diets with Juhi. So I have to name these three girls who have been our pillars of strength.
Amazing.
Great.
Anyone who joined, if they had the good intent and the passion and the like the
Similar
desire to
values.
do good, similar values, they stayed with us. Okay, so if a client joins anywhere, like suppose you join a gym, if you don't go, will you get a call from the gym?
Never.
But
Nobody
it doesn't
follows
happen
that
in our clinic. If you don't reach our clinic on the time when you're supposed to, you'll get a call from us. If you don't come next week again, you'll get a call. So my nutrition will keep following up with you.
Yeah.
We are not interested in your money. We are interested in your health. That is the clear message the person who works with us knows.
Wow.
Okay, so that's how our team became very good people who want to do good for the world. Juhi's actually passion was that she told me, Mom, I want to make a difference to the world without thinking about money and making people healthier, whether they can afford it or not.
Yeah.
So that's how she. That was one of our aims. She will say for herself.
No, that's correct.
No, you
but
told
coming
us
in
off
the
camera so much.
yeah.
I feel like you should tell us on camera also, Juhi.
No, so I think that what made us relevant or what made us stay relevant for all these years has been what we have just discussed. And I feel like at the core of it, like Mom's mentioned, is our passion to help people. So whether it is through products that are easy, like convenient for you, whether it is through research-backed nutraceuticals, whether it is through recipe books, whether it is through understanding your blood reports. Like we really dive in. If we have to consult with a doctor, if we need to understand as to why you are feeling a certain way, we will get down to the root of it. And I think more than doing any sort of fads that have come about, our core value is that we want to help you. And that is what still kept us relevant, I still feel, eventually.
And the software which I built is, of course, it's a formula which is formula based because I love maths. So my whole this whole desire to everything came out of that. So of course, it's a formula based to arrive at ideal calorie consumption and the calorie deficit and everything. And of course, I have the software of all the food products and how much calorie or fat or protein or calcium or iron you have, which I built in maybe 2003-4, that whole whole sheet, which we use.
I'm telling you, she's very foresighted.
Yeah.
And now we've converted the software into an app.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's user friendly for all the clients, and that we've done phase 1 of it. We still have to work on phase 2, which
So
is
that's
going
how
on.
third daughter joined Komal, when she made a website for selling the product easily for people to buy the products easily, and plus she made the software.
And
sorry.
made the software
Made
an
the
app.
app.
Yeah.
Into an app. Yeah. So now the clients can see their data of last 25 years.
Wow.
Their blood reports they may not have, but it is there
They're
with
on
us.
the app.
I have to search WhatsApp. I have
Yeah,
sent it to
scroll,
somebody
scroll,
or
scroll.
email. Where is
So
it gone?
they can go to their doctor only with the phone and the app.
And show the comparison of so many years.
So many years. So Komal helped us to make the phase 1 of the app, which is soon going to go into the second phase.
Yeah.
And that's how that's what kept us relevant. Yeah.
But I think this is something that the entire Indian healthcare industry needs. Because whenever my doctor asks me, they're like, what happened? Okay, cold cough, whatever, XYZ. They're like, okay, blood report nikalo. But blood report is for now, right?
Yeah.
If they compare it across the times that I have fallen sick and gone to them, maybe they'll find something different. I don't know.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So cool. So yesterday one client came and he had come to us many years ago. So I told him that you don't know, you had the same issue years ago, you never recognized it. We told you that this is an issue with you. You should have worked at it that time so you wouldn't have reached this stage.
Yeah.
So that's how deep we go into their health checks and blood reports. They said, but मेरा doctor तो कुछ नहीं बोला, कुछ है ही नहीं मुझे. I said, but मैं आपको बोल रही हूँ ना, we have to reverse this trend.
Yeah.
So
To
world
prevent you
is
from developing.
all
Correct.
about prevention, nothing else. So that's what I tell them. Why would you not prevent what you? That's what the beauty about science.
You can prevent it.
You can prevent everything.
Yeah.
So when I started my work, I realized the genetic history of my family, from my mother's side and father's side, was there's diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol, cancer, asthma, rheumatoid arthritis,
That's a lot.
thyroid, migraine, skin
Oh my
problems,
God.
everything. I mean, you just ischemic heart disease, you name it and we had it.
Moms file on the software for genetic histories like this.
So
Also
I-
mine now.
So I decided that I don't want to inherit anything. Okay, I do want to inherit my mother's
good genes.
moral support.
Yeah.
I mean, like her high moral values and my father's dedication and his whatever. But I didn't want to inherit any disease. That is what is the another reason why I did this course, and that's what I teach to everyone who comes to me. That this is what I'm going to do for you.
Amazing.
We go way beyond just by instead of just weight loss.
Yeah, we can tell. I think weight loss का तो conversation ही नहीं होता.
So now we know that you're a genius when it comes to managing nutrition and healthcare and just overall well-being. But you made a business out of it. Was entrepreneurship always in your DNA?
Maybe if I'll tell you few stories from my childhood.
Tell us, we'd like to know more.
So I had a bucket list when I was like maybe 15, 16 years old. And one of the thing was to earn my own living. And another one was to open a library. Third one was to
Drive a car.
drive a car, so I did very young. Then it was to open a library, to come out with my own singing something which I wanted to sing, which has not happened yet. One of the bucket list is still left. Many was like that. So I opened the library when I was 20.
Oh.
How I got money was also a thing. So I didn't know how to sit still. Okay, my mother used to be so tired. During my holiday time, she used to tell my father, ki, please take her to the office, I can't handle her at home. So my father used to give me some dumb work, whatever.
But तब से चल रहा है आपके दिमाग में काम.
Calm. So I started doing.
Still can't sit still.
So I started doing fun fiestas when I was 16 in the building. So of course I was not a person to keep the money to myself. I didn't have the desire to spend money like that. So whatever money I used to earn in fun fiestas, which is of course a combination of 6 to 8 kids in our building, when I used to lead them, and we had a fun fiesta, earned money that used to go in the kitty. Or if it is very little money, I used to distribute among the watchmen in the building and the caretakers of the building. So every year I used to do fun fiestas. Then on Diwali time I used to do lottery. And I used to sell the tickets to the building people. And I used to, of course, buy. That time I remember my first prize was silver jug set. 2,500 rupees.
Wow.
Whatever it is, it was.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that's how I used to, and of course the money used to be left. And I used to do shows. Imagine at the 17, 18, I'm doing fancy dress shows of building children and presenting
organizing things.
Yeah, and I used to present a play, like Ramayana ka play, which was funny spoof. Don't ask. Wow. Yeah. And
Multifaceted. Yeah.
so I used to do all that, collect money, and with that money I opened the library.
So fundraising was in your.
Yeah, fundraising, but I never used money, a single penny for myself, which I knew. Then I realized that I need to earn my own living to feel good about myself. So that was there. And the mathematical brain comes, I think, because of my genes, entrepreneur genes. For my father and my uncle, they were really big entrepreneurs. So that is there. And even when I was young, I used to, my save personal money I used to save. I used to not spend everything. So I used to keep saving money. If my mother gave me, say, 5 rupees every day, she used to give me 5 rupees every day. So I would save 1 rupee out of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So to buy gifts or do anything with that. So that was the thing. But I was a big spendthrift also. I was not conjuice like usually said about Marwadis.
Came back to that.
Immediately.
So yeah, so that was there. And I knew that, so, like say, I had to open a branch in, I was at Tarde when I wanted to open a branch in Juhu. And that time, the amount I was earning on a rented, like from a doctor's clinic, was say an X amount. Okay? And if I was taking my own space in Juhu side or Santa Cruz side, it was literally double the rent of my per month earning.
Oh.
Okay? So I said, but I have to take this plunge. So I'll give 1 year time. If the last month of the year I earn as much as I have to pay the rent, then I'm like maybe
Then you've broken
Then
even.
you're fine.
broken even. So that's how I used to work, and every time it used to work out like that. Even with the books, people think that you can't make money out of books, but I've always made money out of books,
Wow.
recipe books or whichever. So I always thought that I don't know how to make a loss, and I should never make a loss. So that was in my genes.
That's
And
a
The
great-
mindset.
Full mindset on making money.
so we did have.
Manifesting.
I think money follows.
Hard work.
No, money follows perseverance, it follows persistence and passion.
Nice.
So if you're
Nice.
passionate, so then only the money comes. So I am not thinking about money. I'm only thinking about my service. Okay, that's how the money comes. And of course, you need to invest your money. Of course, you're going to ask me all that in next questions, which I'll tell you.
What is your relationship with money like? Because we've heard that from her.
So,
Have you learnt it from her? Were you also entrepreneurial from the beginning?
No, I'm not very good at business, but I feel. So I spend a lot, but I'm learning. I would say I'm learning. And one more thing is, since we were kids, no, mom and dad always taught us how to do accounts. So even our math, like whether it is from the family or whether it is what was taught to us, is very strong.
Yeah.
So we were given, suppose we were given pocket money, we had to come back and give accounts to the parents. Ice
Yeah.
cream 5 rupees,
Nice.
coffee bite 1 rupee,
Nice.
0.5 rupees, whatever.
Yeah.
So all of those accounts you had to come back and give. So that really taught us a lot about spending, saving, not spending beyond your means,
And tracking also.
and
no?
tracking.
Little.
Yeah. So this followed on to when we were elder. We would travel together. We used to go for like a shopping trip.
Yeah.
Again, it was all budgeted always, because I think that helped us understand the importance of money, helped us understand that okay, you need to be able to earn your own living, and you need to be able to save
Yeah.
from it, and you need to be able to understand how much to spend.
100%.
So that is,
Yeah,
so I wouldn't say it's inbuilt in me, but I think it's something that I have learnt over time.
Over time.
But out of all my 3 kids, she has the best business brain.
Oh, thanks.
Score.
Priyanka and Komi.
Maybe Komi too. But yeah. So Juhi is very particular about money. I think money is something you have to respect money. How we are all taught, it's Lakshmi.
Very
You have to respect. If you disrespect money, spend it like anything, it will leave your house and your domain. So, but we do have people who ask us for like, okay, we are not happy, we want a refund. I have never said no to refunds.
Yeah.
We refund money, though we make them sign a paper
In the beginning, that
in the beginning.
you have to say that okay, I'm not going to refund because.
But I do refund because I feel no, they are not happy with us. Why shall I keep it? So that is one thing. So the nutritionists do tell me, ki, why are you refunding? I said, but what's the use of keeping their money? They're not happy. The money is not going to do any good to me.
Correct.
So that's how I treat Lakshmi or money, and I think that's how the kids also think and treat.
No, I that's what I'm saying. No, you taught us the importance of it so young. So neither were we ever fearful of not having money. Neither were we ever like
Loving it too much.
Loving it too
Yeah.
much. It was always a good relationship with money. Oh my God. We have
Yeah.
such a
Good
good relationship with
You
food.
do.
I have a good relationship with
money.
It's so important because these two things really define your life.
Yeah.
Because food, obviously, your entire health. Because we always talk about this, and we're like, ek to money because you need it to survive in this world, unfortunately. And second is, if you don't have health, क्या करोगे पैसे का?
Exactly, I tell all my clients that what is the use of crores and crores sitting in your bank and gold and jewelry, and if you don't have health, one pain you have in your shoulder,
You are willing to give up all of that.
nothing will matter to
Matters.
you.
Yeah.
You want to cure that first.
Absolutely.
So you have to invest in your health.
Yeah.
So the best investment for any age, whether you are 10-year-old or 20-year-old or 30, 40, you have to first invest in your health. Whether you need a trainer or a physiotherapist or a nutritionist or
Regular
doctors,
routine
regular
checks
routine.
or regular routine visits to doctors. Like
very,
that's
very important.
Very important.
Yeah. So you all seem to be, in the same business together, working together all the time. How is it that you then manage to keep your personal and business finances separate? How do you manage that?
Personal finance.
Personal finances are always kept separate from business finances. How does that work for you?
I'll tell you, mom is very fair.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I should tell you. So three of my elder sister, me, my younger sister, and my husband, we all work with mom.
Yeah.
And mom is very fair. Again, is very foresighted and has understood that relationships matter more than money at the end of it. So we need to make sure that our relationships, like she will make sure that everybody, for example, can I give this example? If we take leave, it is cut from our salary. So how much ever leave you take, it is cut. So
ऐसा नहीं कि बेटी हो तो मतलब 6 महीना आओ नहीं.
हाँ, exactly. And it's not like one sibling will be upset that, okay, you have taken so many holidays and you're still getting paid for it, etc.
Fair,
etc.
fair.
Very
So
fair.
something as simple as that. Like,
Yeah.
she's very
Even my
fair.
salary gets cut.
Yeah.
So I think it is not taught by anyone how to manage the personal finance and the business finance, but something which is sort of I have devised myself to make sure that money goes where it's due. And say for instance, Komal, my youngest one, has gone for 2 years to study and do MBA at LBS. It's not that she's going to get any salary because she's gone. She would get a small stipend money so that she can continue her investments, but she won't get because she's not working. So I don't want to be partial, and I want to be fair at the same time, whether whoever is coming, and I think that has helped. And not only my kids, even the nutritionists who work with us, they all have incentives in a way, so they feel like working with us. So like, giving them incentive for closing a case wonderfully, which is any client who's come and they have done wonderful work with them. Of course, I see them once and the doctors see them once, but major hard work is done by them. So they get incentive for that. So only by closing the case, not by cracking the case. That means, okay, you sold the case, you won't get money.
Yeah.
So that's a win-win for me, for the company, for the nutritionist and the client.
Right.
So it's a triangular approach to any successful business, that all the three parties have to be happy. Then only any business can be successful. Then only they will stay with us. So that's how we have created, and incentivizing them, applauding them, and doctors are doing fantastic job. And
No, so one more thing I want to say, that what we have all had to buy into the business, whether it's with money or time that we have spent.
Correct.
Okay, and I feel like that's how mom was able to quantify and make it fair.
So, for example, we created this brand called Mishta. So everyone had to buy shares in that. Yeah. So that everyone is a part.
Correct.
So, but depending on the amount of time they want to give to the business, they would be a part of that.
Fair.
So same way we have another company which is private limited, which is the product company. Everyone had to invest in that, their own personal money. So they feel the ownership of the business.
Correct.
So that's how everything is.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Very interesting.
Very clear cut.
It's
Very clear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's hard to see this.
Yeah.
you
Very
know?
difficult.
It gets kind of like murky
Blurry.
and blurry, and those lines are not as defined. when you have family working with you?
That's what I was going to say, that mom again is someone who's willing to let go. Like a lot of families are not willing to let go. She's willing to let go of the share and give you what
That
you are
ownership
due.
that
Yeah,
you
that
want.
ownership that you want. So it makes you feel like, okay, you are
Actually, a part of it.
part of it. Yeah.
Nice. Very interesting.
It has to be happiness on all ends, and that's how anything can work.
Nice. Now, you've already told us how important it is to invest in your health, but it is also important to invest your money. So, tell us a little bit about how you invest your money.
Of course, I was clueless for the first 6-7 years of my life. Money used to just lie in the bank. I used to manage my own income tax with my uncle, and I didn't know what to do with it. Then I later on realized that I need to have some balance there. Maybe I did not pay attention because my kids were too young. I had literally no time with the 3 young kids at that time. But of course, over the years, I have invested in share market heavily. But I always kept a balance between share, gold and fixed deposit in those days. So, and it has rewarded me. And with the money I have earned from shares and everything, so I have managed to buy properties. So I have invested in 3 properties myself. 4 offices actually, and at the same time, so I do a very good balance between share and SIPs. So I do direct investments too, because I'm a bit of a gambler from the bottom of my heart. So everyone tells me that how can you? I said, but I like it. It's okay. Let it be. So I do invest. And then, of course, my brother-in-law's son, Yash, I told him, because he was investing his family money, I told him, you invest for me. So I gave him money. So he invested for me. And he guides me and for financial investments. And yeah, so I keep a balance of gold and then properties and share investments and some fixed deposits. Yeah.
That's great. You've
Really
like got
good
the whole
balance.
asset allocation
Yeah, I do that.
perfectly.
Dr. Juhi, do you invest your money?
Of course, and you guys know the most about it, because in COVID, I have reached out to them.
Yeah.
Mom.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't
We
know
did a
this.
personal
Yes.
finance course for
So
her
This
and
is a
her
subtle
friends.
plug.
No, but it was so helpful because I had no, like I
Her
said.
and 5 of her friends, like total
Yeah,
5 of
It
them.
five
was
of
really
us.
cute.
Yeah,
It was a
cute.
lot of fun.
It was really nice. It was fun.
So I'll give you a little bit of background that why I say that inherently I did not enjoy learning about business, because when I was in the IB, I had taken business as a subject and I was terrible at it. Okay, so I switched because I was like, I'm too bad
Not
at
happening.
it. And it's not happening. I'll learn in the real world how to run a business. Chalo. So that's when I came to you guys, I had no idea. But I wanted to learn. I wanted to know. I wanted to understand. I wanted to take care of my own money. And that's when I reached out. You guys planned that course for me. And then I also have always, like, mom's always told me about it. We have discussed it, but I've never understood it. So I understood it from you guys, went back to mom, learned about her investments, and then discussed my options, what I should be doing with her. And I'm still relatively new into it, but one advice that she had given me is like, save whatever you want to save, you put into like SIP. So she directed me to the right people who helped me choose the right SIPs, and then
Mutual
like plan
funds.
my portfolio
Yeah.
accordingly. Also, my sister and my brother-in-law, they both also really helped, like Kunal, Priyank, my elder
Yeah,
sister.
Kunal is also into investments.
Kunal, my elder sister's husband, and my younger sister, they both helped me plan how to again allocate my assets to whether gold or SIPs or specific shares. So it's fun, and
Yeah.
I think it helps me. It prevents me from spending all that I earn, so which is amazing. So I don't have to think so much about saving because it's like gone.
It's gone.
That's
Even
what
if the
we
bank
tell most
account,
people.
even if the bank account comes down, that's what you guys had told
Yeah,
us. Even if
we-
your
and
bank
we
account
always
comes
said-
down, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's being saved.
Exactly.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did it over a couple of days. I think we had
We
2 or
did
3 sessions.
We did
Yeah,
4
multiple.
sessions
Yeah.
over 4
sessions
weeks.
over
Four-
yeah.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so it was me with Sanjana, Lisa, Akanksha, and Sachi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
And
really
No, but
fun.
I would like to have get some advice from you
Then
girls.
you were already, so we are getting advice from you. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है.
They're going to plan a nice course for
Yeah.
people, so it will be fun.
Yeah. So tell us about a financial sort of mistake or a money mistake that you made any time in your life that you now feel like you
नहीं करना
probably
चाहिए.
could have avoided. I'll tell you mine.
Yeah.
You want to know a little bit about that. So when I first got an actual real job, before that it was all internships and stuff. My first actual job was at ASK Wealth Advisors, where I worked as a private banker. And I stayed there for 6 years. Now, when I joined the company, everyone around me is bindas dealing into futures and options.
Oh.
And saying
And
FNO
every lunch
day.
break is just about discussing like FNOs and like ye option and ye future. And I'm like, oh, this is good.
Peer
you
pressure,
know,
peer
everyone's
pressure.
making money. It was just a month into the organization and I'm seeing this every lunch break.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, everyone's making money. I should also be a part of this. And I invested some
what
money.
happened?
And
Some money.
unfortunately, thankfully it was some money.
Because she was making only some money
Because I
na,
was
back
making,
then.
I was making very little money. I only invested some of it. And turned out pathetically.
Oh, God.
Because when the markets are good,
Yeah,
futures
everything
and
is-
options will reward you. But when they're bad, they will do like double the damage. So that was one of my very initial learning lessons, which taught me that don't invest in anything that you don't understand,
Yeah.
and don't do what people are doing.
Doing
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Do
Exactly.
what
I've
you
learned
need to do.
mentality.
Do what's
Yeah.
right for you.
So, as I'd mentioned that I wanted to earn my own living. So after my eldest one was born, I told my husband I want to work. So I said, okay, come to office. And that, I think after my second one was born, he said, okay, come. And he gave me all the DMATs to be done.
Oh,
I make an
God.
Excel
Big
sheet.
mammoth
Oh
task.
God.
So everything was physical form, right? So I used to do that. That's how I got interested into share market. It was pre-Harshad Mehta.
Oh,
Oh wow. So, in
So
the
I did
90s.
invest.
yeah.
I did invest money.
So early.
Yeah. Not my money.
Huh.
My mother-in-law's
Husband's
money. So, of course, market went down.
Yeah.
I made a loss, but it was hardly any at that time. So I washed my hands off. Then what happened when I started earning? The first transaction I did in shares was again at a loss. 9 lakh rupee loss I made.
Oh.
That was the only loss I made in 1 year. After that, it has been a positive this thing.
Touch wood.
Yeah. So I remember I met one person in Calcutta who was my brother's friend in share market. He said, you will never be the person to buy the share at the least price and sell at the highest.
Yeah.
So you should not think that you have to invest when it is lowest and have to sell when it is highest.
You never know when that low and high is.
So you have to know when are you going to be happy. So there are many times when the world is literally buying shares. That is the time I sell shares.
Nice.
Because I think about myself that how will I feel if the share market goes up from today if I sell, or how will I feel if the share market drops if I don't sell.
Yeah.
So I compare my both the feelings and then I sell my shares. So then even if it goes up after I sell, it doesn't hurt me because I made my money and I'm happy with what I made. But if I had not sold and the share market had dipped, that would
That is
cause
when-
me sleepless
More,
nights.
yeah.
That's how I take my decision. That's one thing I learned. So these are the 2-3 things I have learned and I abide by that in share market.
I think you sleep over your decisions also. So then you wake up and you're like, okay, I think this is the right one.
Yeah.
So
that
many
happens.
times early
Many
morning.
times I sleep with one worry and next morning I get the answer.
Really?
That's
Really?
good.
Yeah.
That's really
Some
good.
like I remember when I was young, I used to sleep with one math problem in the night, and morning I used to have the answer. I've solved it in my sleep.
You know there are a few people who have told me this, that they go to sleep and they put a journal and a pen next to them. So in the middle of the night, sometimes the answer comes to you and you write it down. It's like I've never tried it.
She calls us up and tells us.
But also, I should not put everything to that. Of course, those are sound advices I've gotten. But God has been really kind. I must say that. There was a time when I really needed to have money in my bank and I had that money in my bank.
Nice.
That does not happen without divine intervention.
Yeah.
So if somebody is getting into the wellness space today, let's say, what would your advice to them be? Because it is a crowded space, but still, what would your advice to them be?
So I have seen a lot of people coming into the wellness space, and their first advice to their clients would be many young girls, no gluten, no dairy, and go on that path. I mean, why? Okay, so it is not going to be easy for them to crack this industry. And I remember my mentor in nutrition, she told me, when I told her, listen, how will I ever do this? I mean, there's so many people already. She told me that there is always a space carved out for you. You need to find the space. So there is a space for everyone. Okay, it's not that it's saturated. We are crores of people in India.
Yeah.
And I can only help these many people. There is space for everyone. You need to understand your space. Don't go off science. Have the ability to have the right intent. Intent has to be right. Dedication has to be there. You have to have like conscientiousness that you want to help the person. Nutrition is all about helping the other person, right? If you have these three things strongly inbuilt in you, and earning money is not your goal, then everyone
Not
will
your
be
only goal.
Only goal.
Only goal,
Not
right.
the only goal. Yeah, I love money too. I mean, whatever like. That
Of
makes
course,
your
we all
life
love
comfort.
money.
I
You
love
can't-
comfort. I love everything. But yeah, I love my work more than I love money.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
If you were starting out today and not at self-care with Suman, what would you
That's
kind
an
of...
interesting question.
Yeah.
That's why I've
So
asked.
that's something I'm actually going to be working on soon, where I want to work and I want to build nutritionists to be able to educate the general public, because I see that India has the highest number of people with diabetes, and diabetes can be debilitating because as you age,
Correct.
all the complications catch up to you, and it affects every part of your body, all your organs, whether it's your heart, your kidney, your eyes, your muscles, your bones, everything. So if we can try to manage diabetes better, if we can try to prevent diabetes, I think that is going to better the health of our population, improve productivity, improve your quality of life, and make you happier. Because I feel like in India, people are just always angry because of maybe fast pace or maybe just Bombay, I don't know what.
Oh, this is so
But
true.
just make you happier. So I feel like I want to be able to work on a combination of tech and nutrition and medicine, to combine that together to be able to reach the everybody.
Everybody.
To be accessible to everybody.
everybody.
I'm not going to say that it's going to be free of cost, because nobody values that. Actually, I want to say that one point. That's something mom has really, like, I've always been the type of person who's like, okay, I don't mind giving advice just like that. I can do a lot of free consultations, etc., etc.
Oh, but it's true.
So mom was like, Juhi, nobody values
Yeah.
something that's free.
Free of
Yeah.
cost.
Like, suppose I was telling you how for just the underprivileged or anybody, I want to be able to give nutrition consultation at a very minimal cost, and I said I want to do it free. You told me, no, Juhi, at least charge 100 rupees, because
Correct.
that is something that they will always value, because they've paid for it. So I'm not going to say that again money is the goal here, but it's serving two purposes. It's being able to reach a larger population, for me to be able to do what I've always loved, which is help a larger number of people, and at the same time earn money out of it, of course.
Also, like, a lot of people think who come to us that our charges are exorbitant as compared to some of the
Other people in the market.
But I want to say, because so when I had my plans which were not expensive, then people used to say, why are you giving such reasonable plan? I said, how will I help people then? What the
Yeah.
whole purpose is lost. So we do have a very reasonable plans to very expensive plans, depending on my time or doctor's time, so that we are able to serve a huge population who have issues and whom we can actually help in this field.
Yeah.
What is one piece of advice that you'd give working professionals, especially women? What is a good financial habit to have when you're just starting off your career?
See, I've also told my children that, of course, the first thing goes that jitni chadar utna pav phala. So never get influenced by peer pressure and, okay, I need to have that bag or I need to have this thing. So I feel that you need to keep your financial health strongest, and make sure you're saving. See, in my time when I was young, the Marwadi system was that if you earn 100 rupees, you spend 10 rupees
Yeah.
and save
90 rupees.
Yeah.
Save 90 rupees.
Yeah.
She's like, save 90 now.
That is because that time it was joint family.
Yeah.
So they had to manage everyone. Even suppose that there are 4 sons in the family, only 1 or 2 are able to earn, but they had to support the other 2 sons who are not able to earn. That is why that is the kind of structure Marwadis used to have. But in today's time, in my time, I would spend maybe 1/3 and save 2/3. But I understand that the kind of expenses we go through, at least 40% should be spent and 60% have to go into saving. It's very, very important that saving in the sense that if any you want to buy a better house or for cars or for anything such needs or children, their education, so you need to save between 50 to 60% and rest you spend. That is the goal every youngster should have, and that's what I tell my kids to.
Yeah.
Nice.
Saving has to be a very
So,
big part,
yeah.
and we cannot have EMIs on us. I don't believe like how American in
Like you live in debt, etc. You don't believe.
I have never believed in that.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. But I feel like a good way to think about it is that, this 40 or 50% is the goal.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
doesn't matter if you even start with 10%.
Yeah.
You can always build
Work
your
up
way
to
up
it.
Yes.
and work to that, 40 or
Correct.
50%.
Yeah.
Because I feel like early on in your career, you might not have that much money
Dispenser,
coming in.
Yeah.
But if you're having rent to pay, or if you're like
Supporting
supporting
family.
your family, supporting aged parents,
Yes.
then it's hard to start with that 50.
Also, I've seen that your generation, especially the youngsters between the age of 25 to 35, which is my kids' generation, I've seen that you are very conscientious, and you all, like, suppose today you will go out and you will say your friend to tell your friends that, listen, I don't want to dine at that place, it's too expensive, I need to save money. Nobody's going to feel bad. It's not it's not a taboo.
Yeah.
It's not a taboo at all. Yeah.
We're very open about it. बहुत
Yeah,
महंगा है.
very open about it. बहुत महंगा है. I want to save at the same time. So it's very open for men and women
Right.
at this stage. This is what I really like. But in our time, it was a taboo.
Correct.
अरे तुम पैसे की बात कैसे कर रहे हो?
हाँ.
Those kind of things. So which I really like about this openness about this
That is
generation.
quite interesting,
Yeah,
actually.
that's
I didn't
nice.
think of it only because
Yeah,
it's so natural to
that's
us.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because आजकल finally we are having that पैसे की बात and
Yeah.
we're open about it.
Open about it.
Yeah.
So now अभी इतना सारा financial questions तो पूछ लिया. अभी एक wellness tip भी बता दो.
I'll steal mom's tip.
So you better
You
have your
start,
own
then
tip.
you start.
No, so I'll start.
You have your own tip.
Because
first.
she'll have multiple tips. You start with your favorite.
So my favorite is, this is something I would tell everyone that, and it's something that I've learned and I've realized that this is the one tip that can change your life, okay, which is exercise should not be by the way, it should be the way. This is what mom says. This is her own quote, okay.
Oh, explain.
This means that as you wake up and you brush your teeth every morning, you brush your teeth every night, right? It's very natural to you. So why is exercise or some sort of physical activity not as natural to you? It needs to be as natural because that's how important it is to your physical health
Yeah.
And mental health.
and mental health. Sorry, very important point. Physical and mental health. So why would you not do it?
Yeah.
Like people make excuses and they're like, I don't have time for it. How can you say I don't have time for it? This is again been inculcated because of mom and dad. Like no matter what, however busy they've been, they both have their own companies to run. Since we were kids, they would find time to work out. It was
Yeah.
an hour every day minimum.
Yeah.
And I think right now people make exercise such a big deal. It isn't such a big deal. It should be natural to you.
Yeah. No, I agree because a lot of people are like you said,
Time नहीं है.
टाइम नहीं है, हमसे बनाना पड़ता है, सब चीज़ों के लिए बनाना पड़ता है, right? You have to make time for family, to make time for friends, to make time for everything. Husband, kids, dog, everything.
Parents.
Of course. हमारा तो पूरा टाइम ही उनका है.
But yeah, so that's why I feel like that's what people don't realize. And
Yeah.
the moment you change your attitude towards physical activity, it changes everything in your body and your mindset.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you don't look at working out as like I need to be motivated to work out.
Yeah.
It needs to be discipline. It's
Yeah.
as simple. You need to be able to be disciplined because motivation is like feeling happy. You're happy some days, you're not happy. You're sad some days, you're not so sad some days. It's a feeling. It's not something that's going to drive you to be able to do a habit that's going to take care of your health.
Correct. So it should not be a choice. Exercise to karna hi hai.
Yeah.
I sometimes take exercise in the morning when a trainer comes. Okay, 50 minutes. I just have to think, my body is going to get tortured. I just tell my brain.
But fair enough. I mean,
Some people
I don't have
days
to
you
switch
feel
off.
like that.
So, yeah.
I'm not going to maybe enjoy full thing. Yeah.
But okay.
So yeah, my wellness
Your
tip
tip,
would be
yes.
is I think the most important tip about nutrition or lifestyle is sleep, because it's maybe 25 years ago it was more about food because sleep was not an issue, but in today's time sleep is one domino. If it falls, that everything falls. Yeah, your exercise goes for a toss, you haven't woken up on time, you don't have energy, your mind is not in the right place, you are irritable, so you will reach out for wrong food, because your brain is consuming more glucose than it is required to consume. So all your dominoes fall. So everyone should give priority to sleep in today's world, because we are bombarded, we are flooded with OTTs and the phone and the messages constantly, and everyone can reach to you at any time of the day. Yeah. So that
And
becomes
children waking up multiple times in the middle of the night.
Yes. So sleep has to become the priority. If that one thing you strongly put in your lifestyle, then everything will fall into place. Today only I had a consult with that one girl from Calcutta, and I told her, listen, let's fix one thing in your whole thing, that what time you're ready to sleep. I know you're sleeping at 2-3, but tell me what time you're ready. So whatever time, she said, now I'm going to work backwards. So that's how important is sleep. And I've seen that less sleep causes low immunity. It can cause actually taking wrong decisions, because you haven't slept well, your decisions are going to be wrong because you are irritable. In fact, you may lose your employees because you're so irritable, you're shouting at them. I do it sometimes when I'm not slept well. So I understand how important it is. But whomever I shout at, I say sorry.
She should look there being like, sorry if I've shouted at you at some point.
because that's not right. So you're irritable, so that, and plus your diet goes for a toss, and because of the blue light from the screens, whether it's TV or the phone or the laptop or iPad, it's disturbing the melatonin, and that is what causing sleeplessness or early waking. So my advice is not to take any caffeine after, say, after dinner. A lot of people take green teas thinking it's light.
But it has caffeine.
It has caffeine. And many other infusions which are available in the market, they all have caffeine. So you have to check out for caffeine. Take any herbal drink which doesn't have caffeine, because it increases your heart rate for sure. Then that disturbs your sleep. So that is one thing. And of course, having dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before your sleep time is good, because you get better quality sleep. And having not to do intermittent, and having a nice not hearty. So my theory is that your breakfast should be heavier than your snack, and your lunch should be heavier than your dinner. You should follow that sort of a pattern. And yeah, your focus has to be sleep.
So, to everybody listening, at night, with the blue light in your face, you need to shut it, wake up in the morning, go for your walk, and listen to this podcast.
That's a great way to wrap it up.
Nice. Amazing. I think this was such a wonderful chat. I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad you both could make the time and come on our show. We enjoyed every bit of it.
Thank you so much for all your tips, and it really has been so wonderful and informative and educational. We need to be a little more foresighted like you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, and it was absolutely wonderful.
Thank you for having us.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching, and if you like this podcast, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
And we'll see you in the next one.